and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of February 14th. I'm Catherine Haleko, and I'm here with Terry Morrow.
Hello.
Usually on this podcast, we talk about parenting issues, but once a week, Terry and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change. So this week we continued with As We See It, the series about young adults with autism. And we also checked out Julian Fellowes' latest, which is called The Gilded Age. But let's start with As We See It. We watched the second episode entitled I Apologize for My Words and Actions, which is the script that Jack tried to, didn't really try. I don't know.
Yes.
He was trying to apologize to his employer for basically not being able to have the appropriate social skills to operate in that workplace.
Yes.
And
yes, I'm
and it
sorry
was hard.
I can't turn my disability off when it's inconvenient to you,
right?
And just on when you need me to be a brilliant programmer. I'm so sorry.
I mean, what I don't really understand about this situation is, like, wasn't it very clear when he was hired that this was his deal? And like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know why they expect him to go to meetings and
right,
interact with the boss, and why can't someone else be the forward facing person, and let him program in the background?
Right. You would think that would be the way to go about it, because clearly,
I mean, it does seem like a smallish workforce at this place, but yeah, I mean, that just seems
right.
Like if he's requiring assistance to live independently, then it would seem like somebody at his workplace should be aware of.
Yes.
Right. Or is that discriminatory?
I don't know. It's like some people with disabilities would have a job coach. It depends how they got the job. If they have the job through a service of some government service, agency, then they would have an agency. They would have a job coach who would sort of run the gauntlet between the two, which would be interesting for me to see. But on the other hand, I send my kid, who is probably not as high functioning as Jack, to workplaces without any contact with the boss all the time, and I figure they're going to see what his disability is, and they're going to either be cool with it, in which case it'll be fine, or they're not going to be cool with it, in which case the job will be over quickly. And both of those things have happened. So I guess, somebody may employ somebody with that particular set of skills and say, oh, it'll be fine, and not realize that they come with these other things. Or, as is often the case, as I mentioned, think those things can be turned off, so that seems like it would be possible. I could see it happening, but it's stupid of that person. There's lots and lots of people in the world who are like, oh, yes, it'll be fine. I embrace it. But then the first time something is inconvenient, they're like, well, you must go. Right. So I will just assume that the boss is that sort of fellow. Boo. Yes. But I do enjoy the friend who's like constantly trying to run interference for him. Oh, he just says that. It's fine. It's fine. He just says that. So he gets it. But so sorry, go ahead with your synopsis.
Oh, well, no, I was just going to say, it is book publishing. So everything is not based in realism, in this day and age when every book publisher is owned by a conglomerate of other book publishers.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things you just don't ask too many questions.
No, for sure.
It's just there to illustrate problems in the workplace.
Right. Yes. Doesn't matter really what kind of business they're in.
Right.
So
clueless people. This is sort of a theme, of people behaving badly towards individuals on the spectrum.
Right. Although to continue with the Jack storyline, we did have the nurse at his father's cancer clinic who turned out to be really empathetic and reached out to Jack.
Very nice.
And a really nice scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was refreshing because we've had a few screeching, horrible people. So including the mother of the little kid who Harrison was interacting with.
Right.
It's similar to the woman at the restaurant where Violet works, who went so over the top Violet was being inappropriate with her husband, but it seemed like, and that happens, and I'm glad they're showing it, and it's terrible and it makes you feel bad. But the ones that really kill you, and I hope they will show these, and maybe the boss is a little bit like that, Jack's boss, but the ones who really kill you is like the mom who comes to the door and says, "Hey, I think it's so great what you're doing here. I was so happy when I heard you were coming in the apartment. I think you're doing a great job. It's so inspiring. I'm concerned about Harrison's safety. If he was interacting with my son, and my son's a good kid, but what if there were another kid? I'm just a little worried. So I'm going to report you to the landlord and ask you to be removed." Right. Those are the people where like 3/4 of the way you're like, "Oh, this is so wonderful. This person gets it. I love them." And then you find out that no, they're doing exactly the same as the shrieking person. They're just pretending.
They're just wrapping it in a
yes. I have met that person more often, honestly. And it just every time it just breaks your heart when you realize, oh. Right. Could you just have screamed to me in the first place? Because then I would have known where you were coming from.
I would know what your real
I respect that,
were.
Yeah. Golly. But yeah, that was difficult.
Yeah, the Harrison he just met this kid who's probably like maybe
what's the
10
kid
years
doing rolling around the building by himself?
I know. The kid's like stealing soda from a vending machine, basically, and gets to talking with Harrison.
Right.
And, clearly the kid is lonely. And, they kind of hit it off. They talk about the Revolutionary War and the kid gets to try out an Apple Watch. And then the mother freaks out and comes and yells at Mandy for allowing Harrison to exist, basically.
Yes.
So
yeah,
that's not fun.
No, that wasn't fun. And Violet is continuing with her hijinks, even with horrifyingly a flip phone. It was scary when she was very upset with her brother over the flip phone, and he's driving and she's like trying to grab the phone. And I was like, oh gosh, as we've talked about, things like that happen on TV. You're like, crash, it's going to crash. I was very worried. So, that was very scary. Also somewhat realistic, but very scary. And she's like ordering extra French fries so that the cute French fry guy will come and she can flip.
That was a smooth move, if you ask me. Like, that was very smart. It was sneaky, but it was like she was thinking.
Even as Jack's boss is maybe too hard on him, I think Violet's boss maybe not quite so hard enough. Now, in her case, she's got to have a job coach. I would totally think she would have a job coach. So I wonder what the circumstances of her employment are there.
Right.
So that's, boss man, I think you need some help with this particular employee. You are wonderfully understanding, but your budget for French fries is blown because you're so nice.
He's just standing there like, but I won't have any room in the freezer for anything else. And the delivery guy's like, I just go where they tell me.
Yeah. Oh man.
But the delivery guy was sweet to Violet. He said that his favorite color was violet. So
I hope he isn't sweet.
Yes.
You got to feel for the brother when he's saying, do you know what could have happened to her? And she's very much at risk. And still really possibly somebody needs to be keeping a closer eye on her. Mandy. So, or people at work. There needs to be more boundaries, I guess. It's unfortunate for her brother to always have to be the one who's placing the boundaries.
Right.
It puts him in a bad spot. And as we were talking last time, it's also not great for her to have her brother be the one doing all that.
Right.
I continue, however, to be less interested in that part of the story and more interested in the three roommates.
Right.
I was interested. I mean, the best plot with family member is Jack and his dad, definitely.
Joe Mantegna.
Yes, and really just stake through my heart when the kid is saying, "I'm going to be when Jack is saying, "I'm going to be your advocate," and the dad says, "No, I'm your advocate," because it's like, yes, that is it. That is my job. That is what I'm always going to be. And I do kind of think, what if I ever needed an advocate?
Right.
I don't know that even my husband would be up for it, honestly. My daughter might want to be, but I don't think, but it's like it would be such a flip of the established order that it would be very disconcerting. Right. So, I wonder if maybe that storyline is the closest to home for the show creator. I don't know what the situation is with Kadam's and his son. I think it's his son, but that seems real well informed. Their relationship and their situation there. So that's interesting. Right. But I like Mandy a lot. Man, good for you, girl. You're doing a good job. But the whole drama of should she go with should she take this wonderful job? Should she? Because it's setting up a thing I fear. I mean, I'm pretty sure she's not leaving the show. So it's setting up a thing where the neurotypical person sacrifices herself because the non-neurotypical people are so needy, and what would they do without her, and how could they possibly go on? And she really owes it to them. And so therefore she will put all her dreams on the shelf just to be this person. And I want to see that. I mean, I want to see that for her. I want to see that for them. Go get your internship. People come and go. Caregivers come and go.
Even said, Van even said in the first episode, we're already interviewing people to replace you. So it's not
you are not the only person who can save these people.
Right.
It's nice that you care, but it's not your job to put your life on hold sacrificially like this.
Right.
Get over yourself. The wonderful speech therapist who brings your child so far is not there the following year. The teacher that really gets it is not there the following year. This is the way things go. That sort of bugs me, and I'm pretty sure that's the direction they're going to be going. And I really wish, as much as I like the actress, get on a plane with your boyfriend, go take the amazing internship. Really, they'll be fine. So,
yeah, it's just like that whole sort of martyr complex thing is annoying.
Yes.
And then it's just like been done before so many times. Like we don't need this particular conflict to have a successful show. I mean, there's plenty of other stuff going on that doesn't need to put this person in the center of it.
Right. I can't see any other direction this will go. Honestly.
So I mean, it's also just annoying from a plot point. Like, she's not going to go.
Right.
So like all this drama is so fake. And like you said, I enjoy her as an actress, and as a character on the show, but they didn't have to give her this plot.
Exactly.
Arc.
Yes. Just have her be there. And I don't care about the non-roommates. I don't want to have to care about them. I want to be interested in the three roommates. They're the target. All this extra stuff has been done before.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I understand that you just want to have the whole range of things, but anyway.
Well, speaking of things that have been done before, would you like to switch over to the Gilded Age?
Yeah, despite all these complaints, as we see it very much. And I think the performances are all very good. It's a little funny to me that the actors, at least two of the three actors, are a good bit older than their characters. And I don't know why. I think possibly having Jack declare that he was 25 years old when that actor is not was why do we need to even mention how old they are?
Right.
So I think the woman who plays Violet is in her 40s, And
what? Really?
And the guy who plays Jack is in his 30s. There's very little information on IMDb about the guy who plays Harrison, so I don't know. But if you just don't mention age at all,
right,
then it doesn't matter.
really matter.
But once you start saying it, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, the point is that they're adults. They're
exactly.
over 18 or whatever. And beyond that, we don't
And really the performances are great. No objections whatsoever to anybody who's playing anything. They're all doing wonderfully well. Just little things that make you go,
Yeah, exactly. So we travel cross country and 140 years back in time.
Yes.
To the Gilded Age in New York City.
Right.
And Julian Fellows is of Downton Abbey and Gosford Park and all that kind of good stuff. And, we certainly get some of his favorite plots and themes and characters here. We have the tart-tongued older woman, and we have the conniving maid and the upstairs downstairs stuff, and but it's so much fun. I'm all for it.
Yes, I enjoyed it. It was I actually was planning to sit down and watch it, and then I fell asleep on the couch, as is my way. And I woke up and thought, oh, crud, I was going to watch that, and I didn't. Well, let me try now. And I thought, I'm just going to fall asleep again. But I didn't. I stayed awake for the whole thing. It was very interesting. It was very compelling to look at. Lots of interesting costumes, lots of recognizable people. My one main regret about this show is that it's not on Amazon Prime, which has that little thing where you can call up all the actors on the screen at any time.
Yeah.
HBO Max, please, 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 please. We know the technology exists, because otherwise I'm running to IMDb constantly going, who's that? Oh, I recognize that person. Who's that person? What's that name? What's the name? So I can look it up. We need a list down the side every time somebody comes on, every time somebody goes out, because it's like a COVID Broadway actor employment service.
It is amazing. The Broadway.
We know the stages are closed.
Holy
Come
moly.
here.
Yeah.
Come play a maid or a socialite or a cab driver or whatever. Come here. We have a role for you and you and you.
I mean, Donna Murphy, Kelly O'Hara, Audra McDonald.
Yes, just somebody's mom coming in to have lunch.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's where you look through the IMDb, and it's like, oh my gosh, I know all these people, but then to identify them in their period dress is sometimes a little bit, and you have to, if you don't know that, anyway. So this is a service that they should look into having either on HBO Max or on the show itself, just like a little, closed captioning, just put the name of the actors.
Yeah, little VH1 pop-up video action.
Yes, please. It would be so helpful, because otherwise I get distracted by having to check IMDb 500 times.
And furthermore, so many of these are real people.
Yes.
Obviously the Astors, the Fishes, so many of them are real.
Yeah.
So that's another piece to it.
Other ones are based on various. I saw a couple of articles online about, the Russells are sort of like the Vanderbilts, and the Christine Baranski's characters,
Van Ryn,
and somebody. Yeah. Well, she's Van Ryn, and the sister and the niece are Brooks. So what do we call that family? The house across the street, the disapproving house across the street.
Right.
I was really impressed by how well they pretty much made everybody sympathetic. Possibly credit to Carrie Coon for making Bertha Russell sympathetic. I thought she did a fantastic job. I've never actually seen her in anything. I've just heard a lot about how wonderful she is. And she is really very good in this. And just, through facial expressions and ways she holds her body, and, she's in for a bruising with that party.
Right.
You just sort of want it for her. I don't know. I thought she could have been a really hateful character, and she wasn't. And similarly, Christine Baranski could have been a really hateful old biddy, and she's not. I mean, she's immediately very, very kind to Peggy, and
not in a pitying way.
No.
I mean, she's like, this
she recognizes potential and she
exactly
grabs it. And I thought that was so great. And also then when her sister explains about her marriage, that she had to marry this guy who was not somebody you would want to be alone with. Ouch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So she becomes sympathetic then. And, I could do without the conniving maid. That I do not like that character. I do not like her. They need to put her out on the street because, only trouble can come from that. And she's not very.
She's in the Russell's house. And I love the butler over at Mrs. Van Ryn's because he's, first of all, his voice, like I don't know who that actor is. Oh, Simon Jones is his name.
Okay.
And I could swear that I've listened to some book, some audio book that he narrated.
He has a great voice.
That it like a sort of middle grade kids book. Mm-hmm. I can't get that out of my head. I'm going to have to research that because it's going to bother me.
Yeah.
But he's wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, all the acting is really good. I mean, even sort of the socialite ladies who are being so nasty are still, you can sort of see where they're coming from. And oddly enough, I really haven't much taken to the niece. What is her name?
Yeah, it's Marion. And she's played by Louisa Jacobson.
I don't know if it
happens to be Meryl Streep's daughter.
Oh, okay. Yes, I heard about that somewhere. Yeah, I can see that now. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's just the writing or the way if she's speaking in a way they've told her to or something. There's just something about that character that I kind of want to punch. So
well, and I find some of it hard to believe. I mean, it's a silly thing to say about a show like this, but I mean, the way that she's rather impertinent to her aunts. And I mean, like, girl, you're on the street if you're not with these two. So maybe try to be polite,
Yes. She's impertinent in a very soft-spoken way, but still, I see you, girly.
Yeah. And like, you just got there. I mean, maybe I don't know.
Maybe Peggy should have just left her at the train station and let her just sit there in the rain for however long it took.
While her trunk traveled on.
Just something about the character. I can't put my finger on what it is, but just, annoys me.
Yeah.
So where, in fact, you would think if you were looking at all those characters that the old lady making all the sarcastic comments.
About new money. And
that's right. Would be the one that you hated, but no, it's the cute girl who knows there's a cute guy across the street and wants to just go be friendly.
Right.
So that will not end well. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I very much enjoyed all the performances, all the costumes, all the architecture. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
It was very beautiful to look at, as I imagine all this stuff is. But my only fear for the thing going forward is that I like too many of the people, and some of them are going to have difficult experiences that I might not enjoy.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
That is definitely quite likely.
It would be nice to hate more people. Then you can enjoy them having a comeuppance, but if they've somehow managed to make them sympathetic, it's not so much fun.
Only people who aren't sympathetic are like the racist maid, and that's
the racist maid and the conniving maid who has her eye on the master,
right?
And is misleading very interesting character, Bertha, because really what do you think we're supposed to think about her? Are we not supposed to like her, or are we supposed to sympathize with her?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question, because I on the one hand, I sympathize with her, like, it's ridiculous that she would be so snubbed for, the source of her funds, I mean, all these people, it's this inherited wealth, and somehow that makes them better than people who worked for it. Like, wait, what? And of course, all the women, nobody worked for it, but,
Well,
So
arguably,
in that
Mrs. Van Ryn worked for it, just in an unfortunate capacity. But that seems to be her feeling, like at no small expense to me, or something like that.
Cost him, she did say that.
Cost.
So on the one hand, you sympathize with her for that, but on the other hand, like the way she treats her daughter, is disturbing.
Daughter looks like she's kind of over it.
I mean, she's incredibly like graceful for considering the way she's treated, like she's 10 and she's actually 18, and she just kind of like goes along with it.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
And they give Bertha, the loving husband too.
Right.
They don't make it so that
I don't trust him, but still, yes, as of now. And he's not like, you've embarrassed me in front of society. How, why do you do these things now? I'm shamed or anything. He's just having a good time.
Yeah.
He thinks it's funny.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we're supposed to hate him too, I would think, because he puts old men out of business and has so much, but he's just the fact that he looks like he's having such a good time is something I enjoy. It's like this whole thing that's got her tied in knots bothers him not one whit.
No, he doesn't care.
If I need them, I will buy them. Until then, what do I care?
Yes. In the Fug Girls discussion of this show, they talked about how, he's conducting business in front of a roaring fire like the actual devil.
That's right.
Truth.
Yeah, I don't trust him with the conniving maid either, but I think there may be heartbreak for Bertha ahead. But in the meantime, while they're just a unappreciated power couple,
right,
kind of fun. And I mean, he seems to genuinely enjoy her and not be like, oh my gosh, why do you care about this? Stop it. He's like, you want to throw a big party? Fine. If nobody comes, who cares?
Yeah.
So, but we have a little bit of mystery in what is it that happened between Peggy and her father. So that will presumably pan out. And there also seemed to be a little bit of a mystery about the bald
butler. I think he is
the bald butler in the Russell household, right?
The Russells, yeah.
There's something like, seems like he has secrets. And I think he figured it out because that actor, Michael Cerberus, played a bald character in the TV show Fringe. He was an observer. He was an alien who could go into different time periods of human existence and just watch. So clearly he popped into the Gilded Age for a while.
Right.
And won't that be a fun reveal? Anna Torv, stay by your phone.
Something new for Julian Fellows that he has not done before.
But so fun. Please, captions with all the actors' names on them. This would be a grand help. Especially since it's such a fun cast. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So fun.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we shall keep on with that.
Yes. So next week's As We See It is called When Violet Met Douglas. So this is a new name.
Yes.
Because the delivery guy's name is Julian, not Douglas. So,
okay.
And that's episode 3. And then Gilded Age, we're going with episode 2, and it's called Money Isn't Everything, which
I think there are many
can't
people
believe
on this show would argue.
Yes,
with
exactly.
That strenuously.
Right. They would object. So we'll see what that's all about. And that's going to be it for our round 2 today. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes. We have something new for you every weekday. As always, you can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Bye, Terry.
Bye, Catherine.
Goodbye, everyone.